seem like a mundane subject, but it has profound implications for how African American women experience the world. Elle Jacobs Hume. So when we picture a beautiful woman, we seem to picture a woman who's fair-skinned, and she has long blonde hair, brown hair, and she has stunning blue eyes. In magazines, on screen, and in everyday life, white European ideas of beauty are promoted wherever we go. And these are promoted in powerful ways, and it influences our country. But now a new standard is emerging, and it's a woman whose skin is dark and clear. She's curvy and with deep, dark eyes that seem to pierce through your soul. On the top of her head is a cloud of curls that take their own shape and form and refuse to be altered. There are many aspects of her contrasting beauty that I could focus on, but I want to focus specifically on her hair. Hair for Black women has been a deeply politicized journey. Starting from slavery, we've been conditioned to believe that our hair is wild and untamed, unprofessional, and undesirable. To mimic European ideas about hair, we have used chemicals, heat styling, and extensions to achieve that straight look. Even I have straightened my hair for most of my life, actually. But a new phenomenon is dawning. It's Black beauty on the rise. The natural hair movement is encouraging Black women to abandon Eurocentric ideals about beauty and embrace their own. So to get an understanding about the history of hair culture stems from African roots. So with colonization, that was lost. So hair, according to Bekosmi in an article called Beauty is Pain, denoted social status. It denoted what tribe you came from, and even described your marital status. It was an integral part of identity. And as you know, like in African culture, there was many times elaborate hairstyles, and there was communities created around doing hair, and it created a sense of community. With colonialism, it impacted slaves, and they were deduced to non-human. Their hair was shaved off to strip them of their identity. So even though emancipation brought freedom, it resulted in a different type of oppression. The portrayal of Black people in the media depicted them as savages. In an article by Paul Dash called Black Culture, Politics and Change, he says that white beauty values were then adopted by Black people, and it resulted in a controversial term called transracial beauty, where they adapted white-centric values to their own, creating almost like a subcategory of beauty. However, conforming to white standards is not that simple. First of all, Black hair has to be maintained in certain ways or else it will experience extensive damage. It takes intensive maintenance to keep it up. And have you ever heard the term wash day, where Black people are like, I'm gonna do wash day? What that means is they're spending the entire day dedicated to taking care of their hair, braiding it, make sure it's moisturized. There are many types of hair types, just as there are different colors of skin. So, for example, you could have what we call 3A hair, which means that your hair is looser. Or you can have 4C hair, which means that your hair is extremely tight and kinky. And the more that your hair is straight, it actually is viewed as good hair. Black people have conformed their hair in several ways. Starting with lie, perms have chemically straightened hair for years in the Black community, and it's even being used to make more desirable curls. This has caused damage to hair. Hair extensions such as weaves and wigs have hidden what's underneath for years. We've seen movements arise, like the Black Power movement, which Afro became a statement. But within the last 15 years, we've experienced a movement that I believe is here to stay. So Black hair now is considered beautiful and unique. In an article called Decolonizing My Hair by Carlette Norwood, she describes that sales of perms and chemical straighteners have actually experienced a 34% decrease in sales, which is amazing. The demand for natural hair products has increased exponentially. There's actually a reclamation of hair extensions, and now instead of covering up what's underneath, now they help us to go on the journey of growth of our natural hair. With embracing our hair, how it grows naturally, we make a statement to larger society. Freeing our hair symbolizes breaking bonds of oppression and refusing to submit to a culture that has demeaned us historically. There's a stigma about Black hair being unprofessional, and that's something that I have to face. When I go into an interview, I have to think to myself, do I wear my hair straight or do I wear my hair natural? And it's not going to impact me as I'm trying to get a job, and that's a reality that I face. Black news anchors now, though, you know, we see this new phenomenon where black news anchors are actually rocking their natural hair on screen, and that's a really big deal in terms of representation. The natural hair movement encourages us to embrace every part of ourselves and reject messages that colonial and racism has imprinted in our minds. We still have far to go, but I believe this movement is a beautiful step forward. So things are changing. You know, when I go to Ulta, I'll see, you know, a black woman with her clown curls looking back at me. When I scroll through Facebook advertisements, sometimes I'll see a dark-skinned woman with her fro and she's trying to sell me something, and I smile. Black beauty does not need to be the standard of beauty. There are so many ways that God made us. Fair skin, tan, dark, straight hair, curly hair, nappy hair. All of it is beautiful. But in a society that has constantly elevated one standard over the other, this message is lost. Black beauty is on the rise. We don't want to be the only ones who are considered beautiful, but we want our form of beauty to be loved too. Thank you.